years on the job, was assigned to the major case unit at BPD headquarters, working alongside state troopers and the rest of the MCU squad. Dominguez lived in Braintree, Massachusetts, and coached his young sons, Andrew and Christopher, and their Little League team. As a boy, the Cuban-born Dominguez had learned to love the game of baseball on the rock-strewn sandlots of Havana, and he brought that love to his sons on the playing fields of Boston. The Little League travel season was heating up, and Dominguez and his sons watched the Red Sox on television on a nightly basis. Sometimes they were fortunate enough to catch a game at Fenway Park. The Dominguez boys loved Roger Clemens and Mo Vaughn from those early 90s teams. The Sox even had a Cuban player, the left-handed pitcher Tony Fossis, with whom Eddie had grown up in Jamaica Plain, the gritty Boston neighborhood where Dominguez settled with his family after they fled Cuba. The baseball season ended prematurely in August 1994 due to a players' strike, making for a long, dispiriting close to the summer and fall. But only 4 years later, an exciting, unprecedented chase for the single-season home run record made fans forget all about the strike as they flocked to the ballpark in record numbers. Even the most casual observer watched in awe as Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa blasted baseballs over outfield walls with the ease of Babe Ruth. What Major League Baseball didn't want advertised was how McGwire and Sosa, among others, could achieve those superhuman feats. To someone like Dominguez, the Cuban refugee and decorated cop, the answer seemed plain as day. During the following season, 1999, when he was hired to work in conjunction with Major League Baseball as the resident security agent, RSA, overseeing all manner of security issues for the Red Sox, Dominguez would see the scourge permeating the game firsthand. In 2001, 2 years into his work as an RSA, Dominguez was at a rookie career development conference when he was invited to an informal gathering in the hotel room of Kevin Hallinan, a former New York Police Department lieutenant who was head of MLB's security department and Dominguez's boss. Hallinan asked a hypothetical question of his Boston RSA. What would happen if Dominguez were to investigate drug use in the Red Sox clubhouse? Dominguez was still somewhat new in his role, but the exchange that followed Hallinan's question was telling. "So, Dominguez, what do you think?" Hallinan began. "People are up in arms about this steroid stuff, thinking the commissioner's office and the rest of us were asleep at the wheel. If I wanted you to really investigate what was going on in the clubhouse in Boston, what would happen?" Dominguez, who was keenly aware of baseball's unofficial drug use policy at the time, don't ask, don't tell, had never been a fan of Hallinan and demurred, "I don't know, Kevin. It's getting late. I'm going to head up for the night." Hallinan persisted. "I want to know what you think," he said. "What would happen? Would we find anything at all? A couple Dominicans with a few syringes?" "Are you talking about just steroids?" Dominguez asked. "Steroids, uppers, downers, and whatever else," Hallinan replied. "Open season. What would you find if I let you loose in there?" Dominguez answered slowly, measuring his response. "I think half of them would be in handcuffs." Hallinan was incredulous. His two underbosses in the room, Tom Belfiore and Marty McGwire, were speechless. "Are you kidding?" Hallinan asked. "No," Dominguez said. "You asked me my opinion, and I told you what I think." Dominguez, who continued to work for the Boston Police Department while serving as an RSA, had based his answer on what he had observed during his first 2 years in the Red Sox clubhouse. He was a 22-year veteran of the Boston PD and had been a case agent working undercover on dozens of drug cases. He had cultivated informants and befriended mob bosses. He relied on his instincts and simple common sense, tools that translated well to a major league clubhouse. Some of the signs of drug use were subtle, others not so much. Players would head toward the training room, slap their own butts, and make a motion with their fingers as though they were going to be injected. There were hangers-on with fake names and IDs, red flags to an experienced narcotics detective because drug dealers wanted elsewhere were known to purchase and assume another person's identity. There were specific instances that led Dominguez to believe that Hallinan and MLB were either clueless about or willfully blind to what was going on under their noses. Before MLB vowed to crack down on the player entourages that frequently clogged clubhouses, personal trainers, gophers, valets, even employees of the team weren't subjected to background checks. The underpaid clubbies depended on the big tips doled out by the players and would carry out any task asked of them. Dominguez